Hey guys, and how's it going? Maniac Mower here. I got another video for you guys today. For those of you who have been following my channel, I previously started a John Deere 1 and 200 series. I'm doing videos on the 100 series, and then after I'm done with the 100 series, I'm going to do the 200 series. I started with my 67 round fender. I did a couple videos on it. I was showing things about it, the PTO assembly and everything like that. And then we went underneath the tractor. I put it up on the forklift, and we went underneath of it and looked over it. When I first started the video series, I did not have a 140. This is actually not my 140. This is a friend of mine's. He brought it over here for me to sell. When it came here, it wasn't running very well, and I ended up fixing it up for him. I think the video that I did on it is going to go up before this. I'm not sure, but this is being filmed after the fix. So we started doing the YouTube videos on the square fenders and also the round fenders, things about them. So we are going to do another one of those videos on this 140. Now this one I have to be quick with because I need to get this tractor out front. I am out here in the morning. I need to get this tractor put out front for sale. So let me go on ahead and I will start from the front and we will work our way around. So here's a slight little bit of history for you guys. In 1968, John Deere came out with the 112 square fenders, the 110 square fenders, the 140's, and also there was another one called the 120. The 120's are actually a little bit more rare than the 140's, but they are the almost exact same thing as the 140, all except for they had a little bit of a smaller engine. That, and they had only H1 hydraulics. I will go over that here later on in the video. I think they had a 10 horse Kohler or a 12 horse Kohler. The 140's in 68 came with a 12 horse Kohler, and then going up in 72, I think it was, they changed it over to a 14 horse Kohler. This tractor right here is a 1972 John Deere 140. Again, I don't know very much about the 140's. I'm just going to tell you guys what I know about them. So, they did make, in 69 through 71, they did make custom color tractors out of the 140's. I know I'm pretty sure I've shown pictures of them, like what my patio is, where the body of it's white and then the hood and the seat are a different color. They did that with the 140's and also the 120's. The 140 was supposed to be the superior garden tractor compared to the 100 series, the 110's and 112's. As you can see, it's got a bigger frame on it. It's got a heavier duty transmission on it. The front tires on this tractor actually are not factory. It would have turf tires on the front, but it's got the, in 68, the 140's had the 3 1/4 front spindle for the front tires. And I think in 72, when they did the changes to the 112's, they also did the changes to the 140's. They made it in 1-inch diameter spindle. This tractor is kind of a mix between a 69 and a 72. It's got a 69 mower deck on it, and it's got a 69 hood assembly on it. The hood opens up like it would on a 69 140, but it is a 72 if you look at the model number. So let's go on ahead and we will get into this. This right here is the front view of the 140. As you can see, this right here is your headlight panel. This tractor doesn't have headlights in it. Right here is your grill. The grill actually should be black on a 72 140, but this has a 68 grill in it, 68 or 69 grill in it. These down here are your hydraulic ports, as you can see. If you have an H3 you have 4 hydraulic ports on the front. If you have an H1, I think you've only got a set of hydraulic ports over here. Either over here or over there. I think those ones aren't there if you've got only H1. And if you had a 120, you would only have hydraulic ports on this side or that, or this side. I think it's just this side. As you can see, your frame is much thicker on the 140s compared to the 110s and 112s. The 120s, I think, may have had a little bit of a thinner frame to them, but I think they were about the same as this frame. Here's a comparison of the frames just to show you guys. This is my 1968 112, and you can see how much thinner the front frame is on it compared to the 140, along with the frame going back and the fender pan as well. So there you go, just a quick little comparison. I thought I'd throw this in the middle of the video. The 140 was designed to be a garden tractor compared to the 110s and 112s. The 112s were supposed to be designed as a mowing tractor, where the 140s were supposed to be designed as a garden engaging worker, where you take it out and you'd plow your garden or you'd disc your garden, which my buddy has done with this 140, but my 73 112 has done a little bit more than just mow the grass, if you guys have watched my videos. Down here, this right here is your mule drive. This tractor actually has a different type of snow plow. They did make snow plows and snow blowers for the 140s. I do not have a snow plow, and I don't have a snow blower to put on here. The snow plow, if I'm correct, is fully hydraulic. It does not have any manual parts to it. I think the blade moves with hydraulics and it goes up and down with hydraulics. That one's obvious. I'm not sure about going side to side. I think there is an angling kit you can get for the 140s to move it, just like how they have it with the square fenders, the 110s and 112s. This right here is your mule drive. As you can see, this is what your PTO behind here goes down to the belt. There's a pulley right here and there's a pulley right here. That goes back to your mower deck, goes around, comes back up, and the cycle repeats. There should be a tensioner right here. There is no tensioner, but there is a piece in there to hold it. It did not come to me with a tensioner, so I'm not going to put one on it. If you wanted to, you could get away with putting a snowplow on here from a 110 or a 112, just you probably won't be able to lift it. I don't think there is lift linkage you could get for the front of a 140. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think you could. And then your mule drive also is what holds your mower deck on. I would pull this off and I'd show you guys, but like I said previously, this is not my tractor. So, and I don't want to pull it apart any further. So, this is where I'm going to leave it. I haven't pulled it apart, but changing the coil I did. The front tires, these are actually not the standard size front tires, nor would they be bar tires. Somebody else put these bar tires on the front of it. Not 100% sure when. I'm guessing they put them on there for either a better looking look or just to have them turn better. Again, I'm not sure about that one, but either way goes, I guess. As you can see, your front axle on this tractor is about the same as the one on the 110s and 112s. I think if I'm correct, somebody actually put an earlier style steering setup on this tractor, because it should have a thing over here if it's the later style where it goes back to the steering box. I think this has a different steering box on it compared to the regular round square fenders, the 110s and 112s. Again, I can't verify that. I think this might have the earlier style steering setup on it though, like what the 68 112 has on the round fender. So, okay everybody, now, I'm sure right here is where you all notice the most difference about this tractor. From one, the engine. The engine went from facing this way to facing that way. That is because the transmission on this tractor is shaft driven. There's a shaft that goes from the front of the engine all the way to the back of the transmission. or front of the transmission. Transmission, hydro pump, whatever you want to call it. Right here are your lift levers, as you can see. This one right here lifts and lowers your mower deck, and I think it also does your rear linkage. This here, I'm going to guess, goes to the front. This would probably be your snow plow or snow blower because it has float. As you can see, it will float. This one up here, I'm not sure. It has hydraulic ports on the back. Not hydraulic ports, but it's got spots for hydraulic ports. So I'm going to guess that's probably where it goes. One thing that I forgot to mention about the H1 140s compared to the H3 140s is if you have an H1, you've only got one lift lever. These two on the outside would not be here. It would just be this one inside for the mower deck. These two are only on the H3, so if you have a 120, you would only have one lever instead of two. Just something I forgot. This does not have hydraulic ports on the back, but it may have at one point, you never know. This right here is your clutch. Yes, there's a clutch right here on the 140s. I don't know if it works or not. I have not used it. Supposedly, it is supposed to return your transmission to neutral, like on the square fenders, except for on the square fenders, or the 110s and 112s, it'll disengage your belt. The nice thing about the 140s actually on top of the 110s and 112s is the fact that no matter what, if you stop, there is always the transmission is always going to be turning. When I say that, I mean it's going to have full power no matter what, even if you're not going very fast. So there's something to keep an eye out for on these. This right here is your mower deck height set, like how the 112s are. It's in the same spot. And then this right here is your transmission disengage. That's what disengages your hydro, so you can push the 140 around. The hydrostatic pump, you could call it a pump, you could call it a transmission, it's really a personal preference, is a Sunstrand 15. I found out that the transmission inside of the 110s and 112s is a Peerless 2300. The Sunstrand 15 hydraulic pump in this tractor runs the mower deck adjusters. It also does the snow plow and snow blower and the rear hydraulic pulleys. The mower deck on this tractor is actually a 47-inch mower deck. This tractor has a 14-horse Kohler on it, the K321. I do not know if they made a 16-horse Kohler 140 or not. I think you could put one in it, but you would have to do some work on it, and the 16-horse would need a different flywheel. The 140s actually have different flywheels compared to the normal the 110s and 112s. And as you can see with it, you've got a little bit different design of your fender pan. As you can see, this right here, along with the 300s, the 300, 312, 314, 316 Kohler, have a smaller footwell. As you can see, it's a little bit more shallow compared to the 110s and 112s. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I have noticed that. Even though this tractor does have a thicker frame underneath of it than the 110s and 112s did. Is there anything else? Also, going up there by the seat, as you can see underneath the seat pan, this right here kind of curves down compared to the 110s and 112s. They kind of stay straight. That curves down. I'm not 100% sure why that is. I think that was just another one of John Deere's designs that they did for it. So, there you go. I think I've covered everything on this side. Oh, let me get you guys down there by the transmission so I can show you this one. This is actually the opposing side of the tractor because the other one does not have a bolt in it. It has a different setup. But this one right here on the Sunstrand 15 hydros, on the 300 series, the 100 series, the 120's, and I think it's everything, 400 series possibly too. Instead of a snap ring, they had a bolt right here. I actually really like that. I think that is a lot better than having the snap ring because the snap ring tends to wear out quicker. And then also, instead of having bolts, you bolt in to hold on your tires, you've actually got studs that come off. I actually really like this. It comes in very handy when you're putting tires on it. I put this tire on it because the one that was on it before went flat. And where on the other square fenders you had to guess where you were, this one you just slide the holes right over the studs, tighten it down, that's it, you're done. I actually really like that setup, and that's really cool. So currently we are behind the tractor. Back here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that right there is your transmission cooling fan. You could also get a rear PTO shaft that would come out here for a tiller or something like that, and it would hook up to the shaft that cooling fan is on. This cutout right here, this is actually, you could actually get a sleeve hitch for a 140 if you wanted to, or not sleeve hitch, 3-point hitch for a 140 if you wanted to. That's what this cutout was here for. Your 3-point arm would go up here and then go down from there. Right here is your oil dipstick tube, as you can see. This is the top of it right here, and then it goes down into the transmission. This right here is your hitch plate. This one is actually mounted on upside down. This is what you would hook a trailer up to if you wanted to pull a little lawn cart around with it, you could. This right here is for a sleeve hitch to go on the side of it. I think even a 3-point hitch would work with that mount, and also the mount on the other side. Instead of the brake on the transmission like what the regular 110's and 112's has, this actually has drum brakes inside of the wheels, and I will show you, I will go into that a little bit later on, but that's something else it has. And then also here's your 2 hydraulic ports here and here. It does not have rear hydraulics at the moment, so I don't think that one lever will work, but just so you guys can see it, it does. I think that is about it back here for everything to show. So there you go. Okay, so we are currently on the right side of the 140. Right here on the 110's and 112's, this is where your variator would go for your variable speed. This is actually your hydro lever. This is what drives the tractor back and forth. You pull it back and it will go backwards. You push it forwards and it will go forwards. Kind of basic. This right here is your steering brakes, like I was talking about underneath here. The brakes are actually in the wheels. They are not on the transmission. That is because if you pull this tab right here, if you push this brake pedal down, you will go left or right. And if you push this brake pedal down, you will go left. Now, if you're plowing your garden or you're snow plowing and you really can't use your front wheels, that comes in very handy. I have not tried it out myself, but I can here later on. No, I'm not going to. What else over here is there to show? On the Mower Deck on the 120's and 140's is actually different. I think it is almost the same as what is on the 300 series. The driving pulley that drives the Mower Deck is actually hooked up to the middle Mower Deck pulley, the blade shaft. It's in the front of the Mower Deck instead of the back of the Mower Deck because the engine, something to do with the engine, I'm not sure. So that's why. I think that is about it on this side. You can see right there is where your starter is and also your oil dipstick tube. That's actually very nice that the starter's right there. I wish my 73 112 was the same way for how many starters I had to replace on it. As you can see, the dash on this tractor is pretty much the exact same as the dash you would get on the 110s and 112s. You've got choke, throttle. Here is actually your PTO though, this is your PTO lever to turn and turn off your PTO. This here is your amp meter. On the later 110s and 112s, it would be over here if they had electric lift, but on the earlier 110s and 112s, it was over here, over the choke. So that's where it is on here. That's your PTO light right there. I do not think it works, unfortunately. I have tested it and it does not work. This here is your parking brake. You lock the two brakes together, push them down, put this down, that'll engage your parking brake. And it actually has a cigarette lighter. No headlight switch, so the headlights and taillights on this tractor don't work, unfortunately. But who needs headlights and taillights? Only losers. And I think that is just about it on this tractor. This seat is actually not the factory seat. This is a seat that came off of a different tractor that he put on here for this 140. So for those of you wondering why this seat is so big, it's because it's a different seat. Here is under the hood on the John Deere 140. As you can see, this does have the setup that the earlier ones would have, where if it was later, like with my 73, it would have just little clips that go into here, and that's how you would pull your hood off and the grill would just snap in. But this one has a earlier style. I actually like this style better than the later ones. So, and then right here's your 14 horse powerhouse or coil, condenser points, air filter, carburetor. The 14 horse and the 16 horse carburetors are the exact same. They are actually bigger than the ones on the 10 and 12 horse coilers. I actually did not know this until recently. Somebody told me about that. And then the engine's pretty much the exact same. If it were to come out of a square fender, everything on it is the exact same, all except for the oil dipstick tube would have to be replaced. And I think that is just about it. Although you'd have to put a different muffler on it as well. But they pretty much are the exact same when it comes to swapping pieces and parts back and forth. It's got the same throttle setup. This is actually missing a piece in the throttle, causing it not to throttle very well or be touchy. So there's something else. Is there anything else that I need to show you guys, or is that about it? I think that just about wraps it up. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. Actually, let me go on ahead and continue on. This has the two-legged Deere, as you can see, like the later 112s have, and this steering wheel is also what the later 112s will have. Compared to the earlier 1968 John Deere 112s, they've got a special type of steering wheel on them. That right there, as you can see. And then here's your 69 steering wheel on my 69 112. And of course there's the round fender with its flat steering wheel, so that's what to watch out for. I do have a 200 series steering wheel back here. This is a 200 series steering wheel back here. It's taken a little bit more abuse than the average steering wheel should, so. Yep. I think that just about wraps it up for this show and tell video today on this 140. So I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys really seem to be interested in these videos, so I figured I'd make one of this 140 since I had it. The fuel tank is actually the same size too, before I forget to mention, as it is on the 110s and 112s. If there's nothing else that I have missed, thank you guys for watching, Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. And I think that is about it. What do you guys think about this 140? Do you guys think I should keep it? I kind of want to. It's actually a very nice machine. For those of you wondering, which do I prefer? Because I know I'm going to get asked, do I prefer the hydrostatic transmission, hydraulic lift, or do I prefer the manual transmission? I actually prefer if I was to jump onto a tractor, if my 73 112 was sitting there and the 140 was sitting next to it, both of them ran, I would jump on the 73 112 because I know that tractor and that tractor's very reliable. But I do like my gear drives better, that and the 73. Well, let me rephrase that. If they were both the exact same and I knew them both very well, I would jump on the 73. I like my gear drives. I'm not a huge fan of the hydrostatic, but I am starting to learn it a little bit better than I was before. And I think that is about it. I will tell you guys though, the other day when I was bringing this back to the shop, I had just gotten off of the 73 and I jumped on it and I pushed the clutch. I didn't push it very far. I don't push it very far on the 112s either. And I reached down here after I got the engine started and I was looking for my gear shifter and I couldn't find it. And it just felt so troubling trying to find the gear shifter. And I looked up and I wasn't on my 73. I was on the 140. It felt the exact same way as when I would jump onto the LT 133 that I used to have and also the zero turn that we have. I've done that before with both of them. So, not an easy transition, but I mean, it is cool to try something a little bit different. I have not used this one very much, so I don't know quite a lot about it, but I have used it enough to get an idea on it. And really all I've done is just drive it out front and drive it back to the shop. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. This right here is my 1973 snowblower or mower deck. This actually came off of my 1972 that I sold. As you can see right there is where the input pulley goes, and that's what drives the mower deck. The pulley on the 140's and 120's would be right there where that little nub is that's sticking up. So for those of you wondering, that's where it would be. I didn't quite show that on the 140 before I put it back out. And with the magical powers of editing, there we go.